Welcome to ICL's The Bottom Line, Fast Fertilizer Facts, where we break down fertilizer practices, products, and cutting-edge agronomy techniques in 10 minutes or less. In each episode, we will deep dive into one topic, one product, or one practice, and end up where it matters most, the bottom line. Today, we're digging into biostimulants and enhanced nutrient fertilizers, what they are, what the science says, and how they can impact your bottom line. We're joined by two experts from ICL Growing Solutions, Christi Falen, agronomist and CPA. Hi, Christi.
Hi there.
And Chris Naylor, technical sales manager and CPA. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Britt.
Together, they bring over 40 years of experience in the ag world, including expertise in biostimulants, crop nutrition, and management. Thank you both so much for joining us. Let's dive right into it. What are the differences between biostimulants and enhanced nutrient fertilizers?
So if we start looking at the biostimulants, then we're looking at what we can do to influence the plant physiology, the plant growth, or if they're looking at biologicals, something that we can do that's putting a live biological into the soil. If we're looking at enhanced nutrient fertilizers, then we're looking at what can we do to take our natural processes that we're doing, our natural nutrition and fertility, and how can we make those even better? How can we make them be more efficient, more sustainable?
Yeah, I think like Christi said, they both aim to improve plant health and nutrient efficiency, but they do it in different ways. Kind of feeding on what Christi said, the physiological process of the biostimulants, often soil, weather, water conditions, and other things inhibit plant growth, reducing successful harvest, and biostimulants are designed to help plants overcome that.
Right. And we know there's a lot on the line for growers in terms of risk for trying new products, a lot of snake oil out there, as they say. When it comes to biostimulants and enhanced nutrient fertilizers, why do you think growers are so skeptical?
There's a natural, why do we want to spend the money on something that we don't know has proven results? And so they should always be looking for the research and the field trials and the product consistency that would come with them. And there is inconsistency in some of the regulation, and not all the time has there been valid claims and mixed results. And you'll have different states that will have different requirements. Some of them may say that they're biostimulants, others may not, just based on the state regulations. So we want to definitely look at what is really working. So when we look at the Bios line, Bios Diamond in particular, has been backed by 20 plus years of success in Brazil. And then we bring it here, and we've seen results as well that are very favorable when we pair it with our other Agrolution pH low products. And so then when we do that and we have the consistent results, that's where the growers can have the confidence in knowing that whether it's a biostimulant, a biological, or an enhanced nutrient fertilizer, that it's really going to provide results for them.
Yeah, kind of backed on that trial data, when we look at our XTRA line, it's been around for 25 plus years that it's been used in the field all across the U.S. So growers have seen it, dealt with it, used it. We've run trials with government agencies, independent contractors, and just field trials with growers. So being able to see the difference in the field for the growers to actually see that return on investment really helps out a lot.
Yeah, most definitely. So how does feeding microbes actually help with the fertilizer uptake and yields?
So if we look at a product like Bios Diamond, we've seen from the different trials across the board that we can increase the nutrient cycling that is going on, and we can actually be able to see the soil enzymes that are increasing when we look at them across a whole mix of different crops. When they've done it in Brazil, we've seen an 11 to 16% increase in the beta glucadase which breaks down the sugars and the cellulose, and a 14% increase in the phosphatase, which is important for phosphorus cycling, and then a 16% increase in the aryl sulfatase. So that's all our soil enzymatic activities proving biological activity that has been going on with the Biostimulants. So that's where we're looking at how it can really improve the nutrient cycling and provide that food for the microbes and be able to have the root systems that are enhanced so that we can take up more nutrients, more water, and be able to have those nutrients going up into the plant, which then corresponds to an increase in the yield.
Yeah, some crop varieties often have limited root systems, and biostimulants can help unlock the plant's internal and external efficiency. So think of it as being a partner to your roots by feeding the microbes. Doing it with a carbon-rich additive really helps improve them. In the extra line, we add amino acids, proteins, and enzymes to help with that process.
Interesting. And what does the research say? What are we seeing in our ICL field trials with these products?
Well, we've seen some huge progress when we look at our agrilution pH low and our Biostimulants and pairing those two together. When we look at the phosphorus use efficiency that we will see from agrilution pH low by itself, as it reduces the pH and enhances the nutrient use efficiency. But then when we pair it with Biostimulants, we have seen very significant yield responses for some of our different varieties that we've seen in Michigan. And then we have also seen very much of 11 to 16% higher phosphorus use efficiency that we can get by pairing the Biostimulant and the agrilution pH low. We've seen a 4% increase across a couple of different years in Wisconsin on corn compared to the grower standard as far as being able to have that, not only the yield efficiency, but the phosphorus efficiency. And then we've seen a 9.3% yield increase in soybeans, as well as better phosphorus uptake. So we're seeing some really positive results from that standpoint. We've also seen it in orchards where we've put the agrilution pH low by itself, and we did not have access to Biostimulant yet, and we saw statistically higher pear yields in the orchard.
With our extra line, we take one or multiple micronutrients and pair it with biostimulants. In the years of tests and trials that we have done with it, we have seen that you can actually apply a smaller amount of the actual micronutrient and get a lot higher intake into the plant with it, thereby a higher return on investment for the grower, as well as a higher yield paired up with it.
They're all really great results. So bringing it back to economics, we know cost is obviously a huge factor for new product adoption. What are we looking at in terms of impact for the grower's bottom line?
Well, when we look at the bottom line for the growers from the yield increases that we have seen, we definitely have seen the positive there. When we look at the efficiencies that come about, you're applying a lot less product that you have to put on for the yield response that you're seeing. That's what we're measuring within the efficiency. So we're definitely seeing some positive effects on the bottom line there.
As Christi said, applying the biostimulants will allow you to use a lower amount of the actual micronutrient, but get a statistically higher into the plant. So that gives you a better ROI, especially when you're comparing one without a biostimulant and it's cheaper, but the grower gets a higher yield for less money.
We want to give a big thank you to Chris and Christi for breaking that down for us. For more on ICL's BIOS line, extra products, and upcoming innovations, visit ICL-GrowingSolutions.us. This wraps up our episode of ICL's The Bottom Line Fast Fertilizer Facts. Hope to see you next time.